Now we're at the big cookout in the kitchen.
This is it, Alviano Saint. Look at that pie crust. That pie crust is some of the best that Betty Crocker.
God, that looks awful.
Now see, 200 would be 400 here.
The big cookout. Jimmy's gonna cook his pie first, and then Auntie Babe's gonna cook one. And we're gonna
Tomorrow,
have
not today.
a award-winning prize. Now I'm coming in the kitchen if I can get in here.
Where did you do that? You put butter on it and cinnamon
Yeah, butter and cinnamon.
and sugar?
Little bit of sugar.
You better put a little bit, Jim, a little bit of lemon juice.
All right.
Because they're not, your apples aren't tart enough.
Little bit of lemon juice, Auntie Babe said. Lemon juice.
Michael, I want you to get this so you'll learn how to do this. Master chef.
That makes it a little tart. Okay, mix her up, Ken.
Untouched by human hands. Oops, sorry. There. That brings it over here. Each one must be laid very delicately on the bed.
Laid.
It can't be poured in there, it must be laid in there. You can write
Is it pot
the
of
APO
Mother, is the pot
09238
still on
in
the stove?
care of
Mother,
Chef Evan.
is the pot on the stove?
With applesauce?
There's
Ta-da!
there's his applesauce we cooked him this morning. That's one meal for him.
Yeah, Joyce brings those Ziplocs. We'll put that in there. Where's the other one? The big one? Did you put that out already?
This would have been better, but my apple peeler peels the apple away.
Yeah, I
And
won.
you're left. He won. He cut it in 4 pieces. Threw everything away. You're left with 1/2 ounce of apple. I mean, the apple went with the skin. You might not have enough apples.
Oh, come on.
Huh? You've got to heat this up because it melts down. It's got to be heaped, I tell you. Heaped, David. Oh, start
We've got more over here if you need.
start peeling, David.
Where's the big thing of applesauce? Did you eat it already?
You probably
Oh, I
did.
used it as a rolling pin. That was my rolling
Oh,
pin.
that's right. That's
My
it. You
rolling
used it as a rolling pin.
Oh, we're short of apples. It's got
Oh,
to
I
be
don't know.
heated.
You got-
Oh, no, it's got, because it melts. It melts down. You've got to let it drip all over the thing. Like I say that. We'll peel in the Evans method.
Get an eye on this thing.
This is what we do all day in fighter pilot world. And this is my, this is a work day, you know.
This is his therapy day.
Oh, I need this too, to get nervous at work. Oh, that's a winner.
That enough, you think, too?
No, 4 or 5. I mean, this is serious stuff.
You're gonna have it rolling all over the...
Yeah, you gotta put the foil underneath there to catch it.
I turned that over on, but I didn't raise the rack. Gotta raise the rack up. And put foil in.
Oh. Very carefully cut into big pieces.
That should be enough.
That should do it, huh?
I gotta stick my fingers in it. You'll say it's my fault if it didn't turn out.
We'll
I
just
ain't,
put,
I ain't touching, otherwise
We'll
I'll
just-
get it.
we'll just put more vanilla ice cream on it.
Whether to put that on Joyce's list.
A little bit of sugar.
Now, cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
My brother doesn't like cinnamon in his pie. Does it?
And stir. Stir gently. Fold in the sugar and the margarine. All right?
This battery sure didn't last very long.
No.
How's that look?
Good.
Huh? Now we're getting it up there where it's heaped a bit. And we have only one more obstacle, and that's the top to put on there. A little bit of trouble with the crust. It seems Uncle Dave hid the Crisco on me. Unless him and Auntie Babe have been using the Crisco, you've got to watch these retired people. All right.
I'll clean that up and then I'll make my pie there.
Wait till I get Crystal, Mother.
I don't use Crisco.
Oh, don't you? Well, you put the cheese in it.
Now, as you can see, we must roll out the cake dough. It has been carefully, be very gentle with the dough. Then you put the top on like that. Then you take a rolling pin. This is a rolling pin my wife gives me. It's a quart of applesauce. Then you roll the dough. This is going to make a gigantic. Top of this thing. Then we're going to have it hanging down on the floor. See, that's what happens. I can see why they say, when we're getting there.
Oh.
They say when you're getting this sticky. It is sticky.
Hurry up and throw it on the kite.
Well, you gotta wait and turn it off. Wait. You merely take away the wax paper and presto. Hardly destroyed Joyce's kitchen. Then you take a knife or your fingers like this, and then you tuck in the excess. Eat your heart out. Miss Childs, wherever you are, what's your name? Look at the excess.
Got the oven turned on?
Oven's
Yeah,
turned
but
on.
it isn't hot yet. I don't know how to raise the thing.
You've ever seen such a thing?
Isn't that a beautiful pie?
I don't know what they're laughing about. Then you have to quote your name in this thing. The pie crust like this thing. They always teach you this. That way the pie breathes. In the best French schools that I attended, they taught me this. I won't tell you where the French schools were. They had a red light on the outside of them.
Notice the legs.
Notice the pie. There, the kitchen hardly destroyed. Eat your heart out. Eat your heart out.
Notice the kernel scrubbing the floor.
I'm down here looking for bits of my pie so I can add back in. Oops. Got that. Let me just take here's your rolling pin for tomorrow. You need it?
That's his jar of applesauce. You know that kid could pronounce that?
Alconbury on Bith.
Yeah.
How you doing? He did a pretty good job, didn't he? Oh, yeah. What we did is have my crew chief, the assistant crew chief, paint on the plane the Welsh flag. This is actually, the Welsh flag is like that with the white on, it's a flag, white on top and the green on the bottom, and the Welsh dragon in the middle. That's kind of the Welsh shield there. Same thing, the flag wouldn't fit right. So I said, we'll make it the Welsh shield, and he did. And then up on the top, Cymru am byth. Cymru am byth, forever Wales. Now, this is the only plane that can have a logo on the front of the nose, the commander's plane. And a lot of the young people then are putting artwork, if you will, on the door. And you can see that's a ladder door. That's what you walk up the ladder. You tuck the ladder inside and shut the door, and it's not visible. So it's kind of unofficial artwork on the inside the doors. And he did a beautiful job for me. How much more help do they need back there?
What's that sergeant's name?
Sent early. I don't, he's not here. Next week. And again, an IR heat-seeking Maverick missile sees the heat of tanks, and you lock onto it like a video game, and then you launch that missile, and it'll follow the tank no matter where it goes, even if it's running down the road. An air-to-air heat-seeking missile, again for other planes or helicopters, very sensitive to heat. There's David. There he is. I got one.
Now, the masterpiece is coming out of the oven.
Smells good, doesn't it?
It's not gonna,
Yes.
not gonna come out unless I get another pot holder. I'm not gonna put my hand in there.
Where's your horses, kid?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's two, they're double, so you won't fit.
I'm sorry.
Open the door wide so I can see it.
It's wide.
Oh boy. Look at that. Oh man.
We're talking first class stuff. Oh, it's gonna come up further. Watch me drop this on the floor. My hands are fine. Eat your heart. Oh!
Now, how come it didn't boil over? Mine always boils
Oh, mine
over.
did too. That's why I put the thing in. That's why I put the thing in.
I gotta get her
There it is, David.
close up of that.
Zoom in there.
Oh.
Look at this golden brown crust that flakes off in your hands. Flake crust. Oh, ooh, that's hot. That is hot, folks.
Then he bought cherry ice cream so to kill the taste of his apple pie.
That's all they had was cherry.
That ain't why you bought it.
That's all they had was cherry.
Okay, now I'm gonna go and
Correct it. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't want to lose our whole club.
now Jimmy Charles, that is what you call a pie. See that, Charles?
It doesn't even open until after 3 in the afternoon.
Well, hey, we're gonna lose our club after October 1st, what Congress has done to us if we don't,
No, there's how you make a
and we don't have a club.
Well,
And
they're
I'll
always
tell you that
choosing
really-
the NCO club instead. And they're finding alternative places to meet and hold their conference.
And see, we had that in Alconbury, the club that dissolved, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I think right, life is difficult without
See
a
that,
club.
Jimmy Charles?
Uh,
You see that there? That is pie crust.
Really?
That is
Yeah,
really
and,
good pie crust.
And we're,
There's Joyce Ellen
I
again
always try to,
talking.
he's taking pictures with the video camera, him and, I always try to hold things there too, and so does Jim, you know, book things that we need to do.
Now, Jimmy
There to
Charles.
support it. But with the new regs, they're gonna start with Congress's, what they're doing to us, wow. Okay, thanks, Vicki.
Eat your heart out, Jimmy Charles. Eat your heart out. There's a pie. Now, Jimmy Charles, eat your heart out. This is a pie. Look at that. Oh, man, that is a pie. Take a look at that crust, Jimmy Charles. Oh, man. Too bad you won't get any of it. Oh, that is beautiful.
That's your brother?
Oh.
It was my first time. I went down there, took my brother, took a few other people, and it was in a proper, I guess, music auditorium, you would call it, the best show in town. Absolutely, after seeing all the Las Vegas shows, we were really proud of our Tops in Blue and the way they performed. It was by far the best show in town. Didn't make any lions and tigers disappear like Siegfried Roy, but did everything else. So the community is really looking forward to hearing you tonight. I hope if there's anything we can do for you, let us know. Because we'll hope you're all bedded down. And after this, it is. Where are we going? Going to. So you're staying on the island for a while, and then after that. Oh, you got a little sunshine down there. Yeah, big Navy. I think they're a little crowded down there with about people back there. We got one more. I think it breaks those people's hearts down there. Stage, what you figured out? What's the theme this year? Spirit of the night. Y'all gonna join Bob Hope this Christmas, I guess, something on the outside? Before that? It's gonna be I think we'll have to volunteer to go down there. You know, all the military members are volunteers and all the spouses will have something else to say about that. You know, that's the hard part about our job. Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Look how grouchy this man is. Out watching a great football game. A great football game. But he's depressed. He's depressed. What would cheer him up? Let's look around the field, folks. See what would cheer our Uncle David. Well, let's zoom in here. Would the cheerleaders cheer our Uncle David? Would they cheer him up? I don't know, folks. What do you think? What do you think, David and Diane? Let's take a vote back home. Would these cheerleaders cheer our Uncle David? I don't know. Well, let's find out. There we go, folks. This is a test. We're going to see if we can get a smile on his face by these beautiful young ladies. All right, here's the test. They're creeping up on him now, folks.
Little does he know.
Little does he know. It's happening.
Oh, they've surrounded him. Look at that, folks.
Is he smiling now? Is he getting hugs and kisses now? Let's look at him. Is he happy now? Well, folks, he does smile. Isn't that something? Thank you very much. Is he red? Let's zoom in to see if
Uncle Dave blushes. Does he blush?
Uncle Dave! Uncle Dave! He likes football games now. That's Debbie and Mel Heindel, an Art Hedlund in a hat. Dave Burke, the base commander. Over there. Nancy Burke. Back to the game, folks. Now you can see why he's happy. He smiles. He smiles. We'll go out now in football. The red, that's us, the Spartan. But Uncle Dave would have us rather zoom in on the cheerleaders. Yes, that's what he wants to see, is the cheerleaders. And what does he want to look at in the cheerleaders? He would like to look at legs. Maybe legs of the cheerleaders. Maybe a little higher. Oh, I'm sorry, folks, I can't zoom in that far. There you go. Now, see? Does he have a smile, folks? He has a smile.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Not ready? Just a minute. I'm still not ready. I'm ready.
All right, turn around.
Everybody wave to Uncle Dave. Oh, I love it. Everybody wave to my Uncle Dave. What do you think, folks, huh? Has he made friends? All right, just a minute. A little collision on the field requires the ambulance. We'll look at the scoreboard and see why the crowd is so happy. Oops, we're fogging up here, folks. I hope the lens is not fogging. But there it is, 6-16. Alconbury Spartans ahead. About time.
Were you there?
No, but I heard about it. It was a riot.
It
They had all
is.
the
It's absolutely.
cheerleaders.
And then the whole crowd stand up and say, "How every day." It's just to let him.
Did you
they
go?
just-
Were you there for that?
No, I was
You
in the
didn't-
commissary.
You didn't get to
I've
see
been
it.
there 2 weeks and I had to run over and get some food. And it was funny because I had a jeans jacket on, a pair of jeans, and
It was the one who told me about it.
yes, we walked in the door of the commissary.
Look at this happy couple, folks.
Poor kids. You know, it's like taking a case of gosh.
He's smiling. A bloody Welshman on an English train. Last train he rode was in the coal mines.
And that's nice. Fun. Yeah, the single ones, some of the rest of those don't. You are starting.
Hey, George.
It's on.
Now, oh, it's ready. You got it. Ready?
Oh, God.
We're giving a smile, we're giving a kiss. We're going to start over. We're going to have a happy ending story. We'll solve the rest of this tonight in a long wash. Okay?
Actually, we got to talk. Get his head out. Get his mouth's head out. Look at his little cheeks.
Oh, yes. You can. He is. Now wave to the camera.
At Westminster,
His coming.
getting ready to go into Parliament with Lady Emily Blatch. Across the street, again, Westminster Abbey. Oh, sorry, folks. That's the cathedral portion of the square. Okay, we'll come up on this side. There, right above Uncle Dave, got his head in it, is Big Ben. And we'll go up there. What you're looking at, folks, is brand new. They just redid that. Gold leaf. And it says, by appointment only. And that's us.
Who's the sculptor of right here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Other end.
And who do you think it is of, ma'am?
I don't know. You know, it could be Oliver Cromwell, but I think he might have been out of favor. It's
Yes.
definitely somebody dashing.
We could go read it, couldn't we?
Yeah, I'll go do some.
Wait a minute, we gotta go in. We can come back now. We gotta walk right by there.
Oh,
We're gonna walk
okay.
around. 'Cause we go to big.
This is the great day of the year for men of religion. And the Lord Chancellor often is there, you see. In our house the Lord is there.
Yes. Well, we're at RAF Alconbury. Well, no, we're not RAF, but we're stationed at RAF Alconbury. This is the new commander, Mark.
Okay, as he said, it's a procession of judges. Each judge must be sworn in.
And you're married top sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. How about that? They all found good-looking men, United States Marine Corps boys, and they're rags and medals.
Yes, and with the sun on it right at the moment, at that angle, yes, at night though it is beautiful.
Look at this. This is now part of the House of Commons. We'll look up. We zoom now, so you can see each of these pillars. All built, all up the wall. This is sandstone. Sandstone to the top. Each pillar is like that. Let me cross over to the door, to the doorway. And this beautiful stag with gilded gold antlers. Each window and window box, the work, the masonry work.
he raps on the door with his rod, and they eventually open the door. Sometimes they're a bit sluggish about it, but I think just to let them know that they are the elected body. And when they open the door, he then summons them. And they follow him back, the speaker joins him, and they follow him back to House of Lords. But all they can do is to squeeze in through the end of the chamber, which we'll see this afternoon.
I'll wait till this is finished and then I'll be very excited. Alright? Very, very close to it. All happy days. I am very lucky. I have the advantage over most of our visitors. My boss tells me there's nothing between the ears, so I tell him it goes in my ear now. He's clever, he don't come up here.
We're at Westminster Tower. Really inside the tower is Big Ben, the clock. It's about to strike 12.
They'll load up down the air shaft. Take it out.
There's microphones that pick this up and send this all around the world on BBC, and he warned us not to talk during the striking. When the first bell struck, I jumped up in the air and said, shit.
I have seen one visitor in particular. He was stood here admiring the view. When this started, he went 2 feet straight up in the air. That's one of the reasons they want to be able to do as a naturalist, when someone starts this
Thames River. Thames.
They both have crackers. They're both made for the same family, which is the Whitechapel Bell family on the East End of London, which is not a good recommendation for the family, is it?
No.
Now, Big Ben is not the clock. I often see and hear many visitors come out the underground downstairs with their children, and they look up at that enormous clock face, and you can hear the parents say to their children as you go by, "Oh look, there's Big Ben, isn't it big?" If I'm passing by and I hear this said, I smile and fly past as quickly as possible. I never stop and explain the difference. Otherwise I quickly stuck there for hours answering questions. What they're looking at is not Big Ben, it is the Great Westminster Clock. This is Big Ben, the large bell behind me. Although you have a lovely view from here, when you look out, when you're on the pavement looking up at the belfry, you cannot see any of these bells. All you can see are the dark shadows between the stone pillars. When you go downstairs later on, have a look up, you'll see that's the only view open too. I think it's a case with the parents, when they were children, they were told by their parents the clock was Big Ben. And it's been handed down through the families over the many years, so we can't really blame them. You will also hear people on television and the radio refer to the clock or the tower as Big Ben. So it's known by many names. Now, the bell was given its name when all this was installed up here. The man responsible for having this work carried out, the Commissioner of Works, he had a job well done. My bosses in those days were very pleased. Somebody said, look, if you want a way of thanking him, you've got a golden opportunity. Sir Benjamin Hall was an enormous sized gentleman. They said, he's a big man, it's a big bell, why not name the bell after him? And this was the ministry's way of saying thank you for a job well done. That's how people received its name. Some of the guidebooks have a story in there which says the bell was named after one of our famous bare-knuckle prize fighters. Now his name was Sir Benjamin Corns, and in those days he used to fight 36 rounds bare knuckles. And the story says that the bell was named as a tribute to his boxing ability. I would be inclined to think it's named after the Commissioner of Works. That's more in keeping with the way the ministry acted. But there again, it could turn out to be the other way around. Like all these things, they tend to get changed for different reasons.
If you heard, I don't know if you could hear when he was talking, but this is Westminster clock. The bell is Big Ben. Was named after the Commissioner of Works. They needed a name, and everybody said the Commissioner of Works, which really had a lot to do with the building of this, was a huge man, and so they named it Big Ben after Benjamin, forget his last name. Now you're looking out at Westminster Abbey. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not. This is part of it. This is still, you're looking out at part of Parliament. That's the Westminster Tower, not Westminster Abbey. The Abbey, you can see their Parliament, their House of Lords, right below us, and the River Thames Westminster Abbey's across the street. There it is, part of it. That's the dark part. And I'll get the towers here in just a little bit. But this is the street right beneath that tower, right in the center, is where we were talking to the Marine Rescue Service man, the elderly gentleman who drove something like a PT boat in the North Sea and picked up pilots who had bailed out. And the first pilots they picked up were Germans. He said, I didn't much care for that.
light fitted up here, she would then know when her parliament were late or whether they finished and went home early. Now this would suggest she didn't trust her parliament very much. So my bosses took her suggestion almost as a law from Parliament. The light was fitted. That is used whenever parliament works late to the evening or all night long. If ever you come by here, you see that birdie officially.
Is that the sort of lantern shaped thing?
Yes, that's the one sitting in the middle. Now officially it's telling you they're busily working well. Unofficially, then maybe they're lifting up. You're not supposed to suggest it. But it has been known. Now, some visitors have said to me, perhaps the real reason for that light may well have been so that Queen Victoria would know when to put the kettle on for His Majesty. They tell us she was...
Or Lord Palmerston.
Yeah, she was inclined to be very fond of it. So, when you think of the answer to that, to the I am very glad she came up with the subject. If she heard me say that, I would probably end up becoming her personal guest for a definite stay at the Tower of London.
Absolutely.
That's where she let me put it. In the deepest, dampest soul in London. Now, daytime, when you wouldn't see the light very clearly, the method used to attending parliaments here is they fly the Union flag from the top of the Victoria Tower far in the palace. So we had the flag for daylight hours and the light for night time. Now the flag they normally fly from there measures 24 feet or roughly 8 meters wide, and they consider that small. The original was 36 feet wide or roughly 12 meters wide, but they run into problems very quickly with it. When the flag was broken at the top of the mast on a bit of a breezy day, being a big flag, the wind used to whip the loose end of the flag back over the spikes on the crane on top of the place. This used to get tangled up. They then had the problem of fetching in a steeplejack to climb up there to untangle it. This became tiresome and expensive. So they quickly compromised and had what they termed a small flag. If they call a 24-foot flag or 8-meter flag a small flag, I would like to know what they call it for size. Because when they lay this on the floor overnight, under the batteries to dry out, it covers quite a big area. You wouldn't want to know that. Now the only other flag to fly from there normally would be the Queen's Royal Standard on the state over the Parliament. That's supposed to be broken the moment the Queen's foot steps off the step of her coach onto the red carpet on the sofa.
Sorry, what was broken? What is broken?
The Royal Standard.
Oh, right.
And officially, the flag should be broken at the top of the mast the moment the Queen's foot steps from the step of her coach onto the red carpet. Now, my colleague Danny, who had this job for many years, was a law unto himself. He ended up with 36 years service in the ministry. And if we used to upset him that morning, he wouldn't wait for the order to break the flag. He would break it early or late, depending how he felt. When my boss told him off about this one year, he said, well, if you're getting very upset over a simple thing like this, next year he said, I'll break the Royal Standard, I'll put it on upside down. Then you'll have something to moan at before. He didn't stop to think, had he done this, they would have charged him with treason. His feet would not touch the floor. But knowing our Danny, the thought of that wouldn't have bothered him. As I say, 36 years service in the ministry and he became a law to himself. So it's probably a good thing he's retired. Never ever met a
And you
bloke
wouldn't
like him.
dream of it? You wouldn't dream of it?
Me? Well, it depends. If I want a quick way out of here, that's probably one of the easiest ways. That's gold.
He wants the gold, folks.
Look between those two buildings and you can just see the Tower Bridge with the blue struts coming down from it. That's Tower Bridge.
They paint that on?
Joyce, how did they put the gold leaf on? Joyce, how did they put the gold leaf on? Painted? Or last week? The original hammer was too heavy.
This is a procession.
All the judges must be sworn in each year. This is a procession of the judges coming from Westminster into the House of Parliament to be properly sworn in. All the judges. This doesn't pick up their wigs very good. I wish we were on the street, but that's quite all right. Coming out of Westminster Abbey there, across the street.
Can you see it from here?
Yes, I do. I've got a zoom lens on this too. Now, is that all the judges, Lady Emily?
It'll be all the... Yes, it will be all the judges.
All the judges. You can see how dark the old Westminster is. That is from pollution. I need to show you a picture of the White Tower. I'll do that now. Let me back up and show you. Just catch a picture of the White Tower. I've got to come over. I'll put the camera over here. There you are. Right at the far edge. And the white spires, how white it is. Anyway, what they're doing is they have a new system of water washing, and it's not like sandblasting. The water washing removes the pollution without hurting the brick. Procession is still continuing. Still continuing because it's all the judges. But we see the man in the red. We'll have to ask about him. You can see some of the new white spires that have been washed. This is where we were. It's a picture of Sir Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell in the 1600s had a fight with the king over the power of Parliament. Cromwell stormed into the Parliament. They fought a civil war. The Republicans under Cromwell won. The Republicans under Cromwell won. King Charles I was brought into the Parliament right behind you, which you see, was tried, convicted, and then brought out to the hill and executed. And sure enough, the Republicans were just as bad as the monarchy. This is the door we said goodbye to Lady Blatch. We just went in, came out. We'll have to get some photos. You couldn't take photography in there, but you would not believe that stained glass behind this building. Would not believe all the intricate artwork. You know, all the intricate artwork on each one of these columns, each one of these whole buildings, and the spire, the shield. Oh, I got to do the gargoyles. See the gargoyles hanging out, warding off the evil spirits. Over to Westminster Abbey. See how white the new cleaning's doing compared to the old here. We'll soon have it all done. Uncle Dave's way up ahead of me. I'm going to walk anyway and let this thing run. If you don't want it, you can cut it off. Or you can go get a beer in the refrigerator. Otherwise, they're going to leave me. Oliver Cromwell statue. Big bin up at the top where we went up. When Oliver Cromwell's son William could not take over after his dad, Charles II was brought back from France, landed on Dover in 1658, and the people wanted him back, and the people had their king back, Charles II. Of course, we were in the room there where Charles I, when Cromwell stormed in, was tried and later taken out, beheaded. His head was put on a spike over Old London Bridge, and they left him on the spike for a long time. Uncle Dave's in a hurry to get back. Double-decker bus. There's the tower. Oh, got the other one all covered up. Didn't like the sun, sorry. Winston Churchill. This is the other tower that's being redone. Joyce, what are you doing? Joyce almost got run over. Of course, we're right behind that clock face. The frame, the cast iron frame of just the clock face is 40 tons. We're up in the belfry, which is thank you, the belfry. Come on now. And who is this person here?
Dedicated civil servant, sir.
Huh?
Turn her off. I hate those things.
Go over there. This is the woman that took my uncle to dinner last night. Of course, her husband was there, so don't worry, David and Diana.
Oh my gosh.
This is Linda, my secretary. You got to come and stand by Uncle Dave so he can take this home and say,
God.
we went to the mill. We're going to have to catch Roger.
Hit, Linda.
Uh-oh.
There.
I got to stand over here behind the...
You're an awfully tall man.
And what did you have to eat, Miss Linda?
That's a secret.
Yeah. Don't tell him.
He had scampi. I know he told you had a wonderful time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Look at how well we treat my secretary. Her desk is bigger than mine.
No.
No.
It's dirtier than yours.
Look at all the work she does.
I know it. Faster, faster.
Give her a raise.
Here.
Yeah, give her a
Did
raise.
you hear that? Did
I
you
told
hear
him.
Okay, are we ready? Well, then we see
over
this
the
is
bell
what my office looks like.
What's this airplane doing in here? That's a Spitfire.
That's a Spitfire that was given to the base.
Oh, okay.
The base sword, the current sword on the desk.
You should zoom in on your name is on there now.
Oh, my name.
Oh, that was for me. Huh? Look at this. Take a picture of this. I don't know why they'd say anything like that.
What's
I'm
that?
gonna miss him. I'll tell
Yes,
ya.
you will.
Hey, Jimmy, come
Yes.
take a picture of this.
I gotta stand up.
Oh,
Oh.
I hope that camera
Back.
breaks.
How was your evening with the Joneses?
We had a nice evening with the Joneses. They did dinner a very nice way. I don't know how this camera adjusts to the light.
You know what, down in Nellis, he had to put fatigues on it, and you talk about somebody that looks terrible. You know?
Well, I've got to lose weight. It's Linda's job. I'm on my diet. I ate my diet breakfast.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get this? Right there.
Okay, just a minute. He's nagging me again. You guys can have him back.
Oh,
I don't know why is that
God,
thing
look at
like
the
that.
seat he gets to sit in, Linda.
See, when you
We pay him?
You put your feet up on prop them up on the desk.
Look at this. Take a picture of this. Look at this.
Huh?
You really like telling back home how hard you work. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Now who would say something like that?
Well, my lovely secretary.
Oh.
She misses me. When I go, I instruct everybody to beat her. That she really misses me when I get back.
Is that why it gets to be so bad?
Yeah.
Take it.
All right. It's a talking movie picture now. I'm going to have to come out and get you on the tractor, I guess, is what I'm going to have to do, Alan. But I haven't got the date on here. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, now, Alan. Name, occupation, serial number. Baker, Alan. You're supposed to talk, Alan.
Oh, Alan.
I don't want to talk here.
Dale.
It picks up the sound.
20 years in Cardiff, you were at?
Yes, I was 20 years in Cardiff,
20 years.
just outside Cardiff.
But your parents weren't from Cardiff, though.
My
were they?
father was.
Father was from
Yes.
Cardiff. Oh, okay.
And his mother before him.
Oh, good. Good. I don't know why it did that. There it is. Take a picture of the rose garden.